What's up, people? It's another edition of the New Breed Podcast, the New Breed Podcast. How much whiskey have I had already? Jesus. We're off to the races. It's Maker's Mark tonight, gents. I'm one half of your hosting duo, Jay Horsecow. With me, I have my partner in crime, the notorious TIM Tim Anderson Jr. Tim, how are you?
Cold, very
Yeah, I
cold.
was gonna say the snow. I let the dogs out last night. And I went, is it snowing outside? Well,
Awful.
shit. Yeah, it is. It is something nasty. I let everybody out before. I figured I'd let the dogs out to exercise, and they all kind of did one of these. Yeah, no, we're
Nope.
good. And they
Yeah,
went back in the house.
yeah, we're good.
Thanks. Thanks. That's great. When we have to pee, we'll let you know. All right, everybody. So it's the episode that has been 11 months and 11 subsequent episodes in the making. We are doing our 2024 best of. So, Tim, how hard was this year's list?
Harder than last year, which is extremely infuriating because last year was just pulling fucking teeth and hair, and it was awful, dude.
Yeah, I went
This
back and
one was just
looked.
as bad.
This one was just, I would actually say this is bad, if not worse. I ended up having to break ties using my last FM stats and my listens because I had stuff where I literally sat here and had 18 in my top 10, and I'm like, I got to limit it to 10. Shit. And yeah, it was brutal. Absolutely brutal.
Yeah, it's just I like I did this up until the end, man. The last minute before we jumped on, I looked over and I was like, it's got to be it. This
So,
has to be.
it's a good problem to have, though, right? Like, aside from the random Friday where 15 things come out, you have no way in hell of ever catching up. And it's really been an interesting year. It's been a lot come out, a whole lot.
Yeah, I mean, there were some months where it would be like 10 every Friday. It's like,
Oh,
holy
it
shit, dude.
was it was unbelievable. It was unbelievable. Okay, so Tim, let's hop into it. We're gonna start with something easy, right? Let's start with something easy. We'll start with your top five singles for this year. What are your top five singles for this
Shit,
year?
I got 10. I did 10 everything basically.
Okay.
I always do more than you for some reason, but it's whatever. You my top 5 right
Uh
now?
you know what, you do five, I'll do five, and then you do your last five.
All right. Tetrarch. Live
Okay.
not fantasize. We did a video for that. I think you like that one. This one came out earlier in the year from a second story window, so say we all. Great song. This was a cool cover, Frozen Soul, Creature of the Wheel.
Oh, I forgot they
Uh,
even did that.
yeah, it's great. Thornhill with Nerve. I just fucking love that track. I think a new album we're getting next year. Mouthwater with Butterfly. Yeah, that I listen to that song constantly this year since it came out. All good stuff.
Okay. The five that I grabbed in no particular order. I didn't grab the song names, I just grabbed the bands. The first one is Life on Planet Nine. We've
Oh
talked
yeah.
about how much you and I are big fans. We love Ultra Spank. I really hope these guys, I hope they put out either an EP or a fully. They haven't done a full length in a long time, and that would be really great to hear. The new Gridiron.
Oh yeah.
Gridiron was pulling a hate breed where they were touring for 2, 3 years off of that one album. Single usually means that something's coming behind it, so I'm glad to hear it. It's definitely in that vein. They have a unique sound. I mean, you want to call it rapcore, you want to call it whatever, it doesn't matter. But it was enjoyable. It was
It
really
was
enjoyable.
really good. Really good.
Body Web, a band that I found this year. They had a single come out a couple months ago that I thought was brilliant. I mean, they take that new metal stuff, but they do something really dark with it. You know, they do some darker hardcore aspects that I really enjoy. My next pick is No Face, No Case. I fucking love this band. I just found it this year. It's the most insane. I don't know if they're trying to be funny, but they're definitely having fun with it. I think Guilt was the most recent single that they came out with. I really hope they get to tour the States at some point.
Where are they
And
from again?
somewhere in Europe, Eastern Europe. I know they're opening up for, so I want to say it's like a Paleface Europe run. They're one of the openers.
Oh shit.
So
Okay.
good for them. They're actually doing some tour stuff, which bodes well. And my last pick for this year was New Jersey's own Nine Dead covering Limp Bizkit's Trust. I thought that song was awesome, and I go back to it all the time.
Yeah, I knew that would be in your list. I pretty much figured that. I'm actually surprised you didn't say that first. To tell you the truth.
I was like, I gotta say the best for last. Yeah, but that I
Oh
was
okay.
actually listening to it earlier today, and I was like, yeah, I forgot how much I really enjoyed this.
Yeah, that I did enjoy that when we did that video. It was cool. What are you drinking tonight?
Makers and Coke.
Oh, I'll text you in the morning, see how your head's feeling.
Well, this is my only. This is my only makers of Coke. Then I got to switch to like vodka and something because I'm going to be retarded and I can't be hungover tomorrow.
Yeah. Good
I got to
luck.
pick the wife up from the airport, and I don't want to be sitting in church with my head just dong 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 dong. It's the worst feeling in the world. It's the worst
Yeah.
feeling.
Fuck that shit, man.
Ugh. All right, what do you got, Tim? What's your next five?
All right, zero mindset with everything that I hide. Um, I don't know much about this band. I tried getting them on the show. They were not interested. Whatever, all good. But they got Deftones, Drowner vibes. I like it. Really good shit. Shadows Fall into Gray. I had to put that in there. I
Mm-hmm.
fucking love that band. I cannot wait for a new record. Hopefully, we're getting a new record. Thursday, White Bikes. Ah, God, I
I
fucking
forgot they
love
even had a single this year.
two singles.
I
Um,
forgot that. Jeez.
yeah, White Bikes came out a few months ago or weeks ago. I'm getting Jesus Christ. Really good, man. I swear he's pulling from that No Devotion sound because they sound like they're starting to sound like that, just not as
Well,
electronic-y.
it's gonna influence it. I mean, look at what Stone Sour did to Slipknot.
Yeah. So I mean, it's Thursday, but it's really good, man. I like his voice is just fucking. I love that shit. And then last two are both Drowner singles with Siren and Cyclical Motion. I mean, come on,
Oh,
dude.
how did I forget the Drowner singles? Well,
Yeah.
because I'm waiting for the LP that's eventually going to come out. That's why.
Yeah, I mean, I
Subtle hint,
absolutely,
jab at the guys. Yeah.
yep, I absolutely love Cyclical Motion. I think that's how you say that. Cyclical.
Mm-hmm.
I fucking love that song. It's their Linkin Park track, and then of course Siren's just great, great fucking track. Yeah, we need a new record. They're listening, so we say it every fucking time. So here you go.
Yep. Get
Get
on
on
it,
it.
boys. Get on it, boys. Okay. So Tim, let me ask you this: what has been your biggest surprise this year?
Biggest surprise?
Yeah, either album or a trend or what was really you were like, yo, I was not expecting that.
Oh, I was not expecting Manson to put a new record out. I just totally thought he was gone, and just the Me Too got him. And is that what it's called? Me Too?
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
I mean, it's a sore subject, and I get it, but like, can you prove any of it? Like, nothing happened.
Mm-mm. It's
And
a
he
he
even
said, she
said in his
said,
book,
and that's why that all the charges got eventually went away. It's because all that stuff eventually ends up with a he said, she said.
yeah, I mean, he even, dude, if you read his book, he's a dirtbag. I mean, come on, dude.
Yeah,
Or is
yeah,
this new? I mean, I was not expecting him to come back with shows, anything, but yeah, I was super surprised that record rules, man. Fucking, I guess him being sober it's good for him.
I mean, some people they just gotta get their shit together. Um, the so I actually wrote down the album that surprised me the most this year. The new Thou album, Umbilical, where
Ah,
I was not expecting it to be a punk hardcore aggressive 2.5 minute song banger, 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 banger. I was not expecting that. To me, that was the biggest surprise this year because I put it in and figured it was going to be slow and sludgy, and they do perform various different styles. They incorporate a bunch of different stuff, but that album it was bang, 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 and it just kept going.
I have that. Oh, I'll save it for then. But
Okay.
I think I fucked up on that one.
That one was a surprise, and the other surprise, kind of the same vein, Uniform, when they put out the album where they took out the guitar, bass, and drums.
Mm.
So it's the newest album, but it's just the pianos and the synths and the effects. And I think it's actually better than the album that they released.
That's fucking crazy.
And to me, that was a wild listen because that first song is 18 minutes and it's a tough listen, because he's talking about being anorexic. And then they strip out all the instruments and it's just as good, if not more haunting and more uncomfortable.
They strip out the vocals too. I can't remember.
No, it's vocals, keys, synths, and any effects that they had,
That's right.
and all any instrument, not a guitar, bass, drum.
I skimmed through that like when you told me about it, and I was like, it's all right.
If you like the album, like the regular album, American, whatever it was called, the second version is really, it takes it in almost like a Chat Pilex esque uncomfortable turn.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
those were my biggest surprises this year. I could not believe it. Okay, Tim. EPs top five.
All right, I have eight. Um, I'll do five. You do five. I'll do a last three.
Okay.
you know my top EP is Final Resting Place with Prelude to Extinction. That it's perfect.
I knew that was coming. Yep, yep.
I listened to that a million fucking times. You knew this one was coming. Soft Kill at Roseland. Love it.
How do they go album EP single 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 EP album single album? Like I prolific, prolific.
Yeah, it's just everything they put out. I don't think it's bad. Anything. I don't think anything they've ever put out is bad.
No,
Like
even the
the
one
first
cover
two
they did
records.
was
Yeah,
good.
the first two records, like every song, pretty much sounds exactly the same. I'll say that, but it's done really well.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I can do without the first two, maybe this first record. It's just it's a little the same every song, but everything after that is just fucking great. I mean, there's nothing bad about that band.
Yep.
Another person I want to get on in 2025. I want to talk to that
We're
dude.
gonna track this fucker down.
Yeah. Number three, Cruelty or Profane Usurpation. Just
Yo,
everything they do, great.
it's just so laughably heavy. Like it's laughably heavy.
Yeah, and like I thought the new singer thing was going to change. Nope. It's
Mm-mm.
pretty
They
much
kill
the
it.
same thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
I fucking love that EP. This was two EPs released like a month apart, but I'm gonna name it just as one. Amiensis with Reclamation. There's volume one and volume two. They're both equally as good. I'm just gonna name it as one. Fucking one of the best metal bands doing that black and death feel. It's
Mm-hmm.
so good. Number five, Neon Nightmare, Faded Dream. Come on, dude.
Yeah.
Come
Is that
on.
is that technically an EP?
Yeah.
It's
Anything
well, it's in that
under
weird space, right? Where it's not five, but it's not 10. It's like
it's like
seven or eight,
seven.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Anything
but
under
that's a
10
true
is an EP to
extended
me.
play. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, anything under 10 is an EP to me. But yeah, that's five. I got three more, and I'm sure I think two of the three are gonna be on your
Yeah.
list.
I think we're gonna overlap at least two of these. So the first one I got is Simulacra with Reincarnation. I love the brand of tough guy beatdown hardcore these guys do. I think Dom's voice is awesome. And I just, Delaware Zone, get at it. Like I fucking love this band. Next, Bayway, Word is Bond.
Yeah.
Jay is another one. He's up there with the guy from Soft Kill, where Jay is just putting out single EP, single. Then he has a side project. Then he has a black metal project. We got to get him back on the show just to talk shit because that dude is wild. How much they put out in a given year.
Now he's in 25 to life.
Yeah, 25 to Life. He's in what was
Shattered
he playing?
Realm.
Yeah, he's playing in Shattered Realm. I mean, when they redo Punishment, he's going to be in there. I'm sure.
Probably.
Kind of wild. Next, I have oddball pick Delhi by Glass Beams.
Oh,
I
yeah.
really, really like that band. That is my. I don't want to listen to anything really heavy. I really need something without lyrics because I'm busy doing something at work. I put that on. What a random find. Shout out to my buddy Morgan out in Minnesota who sent it to me and said, I didn't think you'd like this, and I fucking love it. So cheers to that. Next, Disembodied Tyrant, The Tower, Part 1. Holy
Oh, yeah.
crap. Holy crap. Like, I mean, there's so many bands that are doing death metal and black metal and some, proggy stuff, some technical stuff, and they kind of throw it all in a blender and it really, really works.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say it now. That's all. I didn't put that on my list because I literally totally forgot it came out. But yeah, that I'm gonna have 9. That's on my list as well. That shit is amazing.
I am definitely going to see that Chelsea Grin tour mainly because they're opening. It's them. I think it's them, Chelsea Grin, Signs of the Swarm,
Jesus.
and it's not Brand of Sacrifice. It's somebody else. Somebody heavy. Somebody heavy. No. I wanted to say Sword and Stab Wounds, but they're going out with Whitechapel. Okay. So what did I have? It said this about. Oh, this one was a surprise to me. This is a band I've always kind of liked, never really got into. This EP blew me away. Counterparts. Heaven Let Them Die. I think that EP is awesome. And maybe I'm more open to it because I got into End and I like what he does, like what Brandon does with End. But I thought this EP is heavy.
It's really heavy.
Like stupid heavy.
It's good,
and
man.
That I don't know, I always subconsciously lump them in with, and this isn't a shot, I lump them in with like Varials.
Yeah.
And that metallic hardcore, metalcore, what you will, where it's kind of like I'm going to give a shout out to Joe Hardcore. Joe Hardcore calls it like the upside down hardcore scene, where it's not like the main shit that you see all blasted all over the place. It's its own fan base and its own bands and stuff, like How Nashi.
Yeah, it's like metalcore that's like right before mainstream, kind of.
Yeah, one step removed. That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that EP is fantastic. They're coming around with Foreign Hands, and I'm definitely going to see that tour because I think it'll be pretty good. And my last pick was a Candy with Flipping.
Oh yeah.
This is another band this year that has just between their album in my top 10, spoiler alert. But between the LP and the EP, it's like, yo, how do these guys have the time? And they are vicious live. They are vicious. It's just the guitars sound like buzz saws. So big fan. I guess they're done with Relapse. Because this was out on Triple B. Good for them. Relapse doesn't know what to do with hardcore bands. No offense, Jay Relapse. You guys don't know what to do with fucking hardcore bands. Leave them alone. It's
Yeah,
like Southern Lord.
stick
You
to
know,
what you know.
yeah. Don't try and branch out. Stick to your vein.
I think the
Your
only
lane.
label that branched out and kind of knows what they're doing is Century Media because they're signing a lot of cool bands like Orthodox and stuff like that. But it's like, yeah, Relapse, just stick to your fucking thing, man.
And even like Century Media, they typically don't sign anybody who's unsigned and just by themselves. They're like they pull from the feeders, right? From Sharp Tone, from Unbeaten, from Upstate, from all those other labels, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, no offense to Century Media, no offense to Gitter. I'd love to get him on the show, but they're not really like out there beating the bushes, pulling people
No,
into it.
no,
Like
no.
it's like Maggot Stomp, where you're like, who the fuck is this Frozen Soul band? And now look, you know?
No, you're 100% correct. And I mean, I don't blame them for doing that. They let other people do the work.
Right. And you know what? But back to our point about labels getting off, losing their focus, right? Stick to what you're good at. Maggot
Yeah.
Stomp is not going to sign a band like, I don't know, Gridiron. All right. They're not going
No.
to sign a band like Powerman 5000. So don't even think about it. I don't know where Powerman 5000 came from.
Yeah, it's
You know what?
random.
You know why? Because I have a LOL Code Orange posted over here, and that's what I was thinking about. Man, you want to talk about a band that kind of just biffed themselves? I think that
Yeah.
band is done. Sadly,
It would not surprise me at all, dude.
I mean, Reba's touring with Marilyn Manson. Jamie and the sampler guy have a side project. They bagged the
Do they?
last. Yeah, they have some electronic kind of project. I mean, they bagged the last tour. They said the one guy was hurt, but everybody knows it was low ticket sales. And I don't know. I think the best thing they could do would be toss the drummer. Jamie goes back to drumming and singing, and they go back to like forever. That sound. Just go right back into spin it 180 degrees and just go right back into the heavier stuff. Like I get trying to drag your fans to a new sound, right? We've talked about that with other bands, but I think they went too far too fast, and the fans were like, no,
Yeah,
yeah,
they tried to go mainstream and it just did not
too
work.
quickly, too
Yeah.
quickly.
I did not care anything for that or any parts of that newest record at all.
The newest
Nothing.
one, it was too schizophrenic. Now, underneath the one before it, the COVID album was damn good, and the one before that, Forever, was great too. Man, the Maker's Mark is starting to kick in. But yeah, it's just. eh,
Yeah. Yeah. Eh.
All right, what do you got, Tim?
All right, last three. No Cure. I hope I die here. That shit is super fucking heavy.
I am really happy to see that major list. Yo, speaking of them, they're opening that Throne tour,
Oh, are they?
the last date of which is in Philly, which just got upgraded from the Foundry to the Brooklyn Bowl.
Is that bigger?
Bigger, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it's an awesome venue to see shows at. Like it really is. I got to find a way to get out of my orchestra tickets that night so I can go because I bought a Throne ticket. Um, and then we bought orchestra tickets, and I'm like, honey, I got a thing.
Yeah, I gotta go see some straight edge band.
I got a thing. All right. So what's next on our agenda?
I,
Okay,
I
Tim,
got I got two more here
keep
for
going.
you. Um, X all of God's children X, an endless search for clarity.
I
Yeah,
forgot that
man.
came out.
Yeah, that shit was really good, man. I that brings me back, dude,
That
and I love it.
upper Midwest edge metal, right?
It's fucking good, dude.
What was it? Nehemiah? Nehemiah? How did you say that band?
Nehemiah?
That's it. I always think of like Nehemiah. I know they're not northern Midwest, but like As Hope Dies
Yeah.
and Forever is Forgotten and with Dead Hands Rising, like that whole scene slash sound.
Yeah. It's there's so many bands back then were good. There's one band in my top 10 that is out of that flavor as well that really surprised me.
Okay.
One more I got Soul Invicto with Loosely Aware. That's 3 tracks from pretty sure it's Steph and dudes from Cypress Hill, all that kind of stuff. It's really good, man. I was very surprised with that little 3 song EP, but yeah, it's something I went back to a few times. I was like, yeah, this is getting on the list because it's fucking good, man.
Okay. All right. So next up, we did singles, we did EPs. Now, Tim, let's talk about your near misses. So these are the five. This is, if you're ranking, this is number 11 to number 15. What were your near misses?
All right, I'll do 16 to 11 here for you.
Okay.
Mushroom Head, Call the Devil. I love the record. It's just there's some songs on there that are just like the last three, like 2, 3 albums, they've just gone in this goofy direction on some tracks where it's just like fucking circusy sounding shit. I mean, they've done it before, but not like they do now.
Circusy sounding shit.
And they have like the chick singing in it, and it's just like, okay, I get it, but like you don't have to force songs for it. The rest of the shit that's heavy is really good, so that's a near miss for me. Are we going one after another, or what are we doing?
We'll bounce. We'll snake draft it.
Yeah, good.
So okay, so my number in that pool of five, number 15 for me was Missing Link, Watch Me Bleed. I love this guy's voice. To me, he sounds like Barney Greenway, and
Yeah.
apparently he's a real character live. I really enjoyed this album. Never heard this band before. Still haven't seen them live. I'm gonna see them when I'm down at FYA, but I really enjoyed this album. It's kind of an obnoxious tough guy hardcore without like, oh, we're gonna beat you up, we're gonna beat you up, we're gonna beat you up. And it takes a lot of pride to be from New York, which I can deal with. It's definitely in that Madball vein.
Aren't they like in the tri-state area?
They're from around here.
I thought so. Yeah. All right. My next one is Marilyn Manson, One Assassination on Their God. I couldn't put it in my top because it's 9 songs, and then it's just so a couple of the tracks are like, it's all right. It's like he gets goofy on a lot of shit too, but like more than I'd say 7 of them tracks are just really damn good, man. So I put it on a near miss for me.
Okay. Okay. My next near miss is 200 Stab Wounds, Manual Manic Procedures.
Okay.
I love this album. I think it's great. But when we get to my top 10, this year for me was the year of metalcore. There were so many great releases that were right in that vein that I had to bump this down this, and there was another one that I bumped that I felt bad doing it. But I think this album is great. Looking forward to see them when they open for Whitechapel. They stole the show at Decimal Fest earlier this year, but it just barely missed my top 10. But what a solid thrashy death metal band.
Yeah, great record. All right, next I have Crippling Alcoholism with Love from a Padded
That
Room. I mean, Jesus Christ, dude.
is a fucking tough listen.
Yeah, it's tough, dude. It is all types of fucking disgusting. It's just rough listen though. Shout out to Adam for that one, man.
Yeah,
That's a crazy record.
it's an awesome find, but man, that is not a fun listen. That is not a fun listen.
Yeah, it makes you fucking feel weird. That's all I can say.
So my next near miss, you're gonna be aggravated that I put this where I did. Escape Forever by Soft Kill.
Ooh,
I listened
okay.
to this a shit ton. This is one of the rare albums that I can put on, and my wife goes, "Who is this?" And she actually, this and Trevor Something were the two finds that I've played that she really liked. But I listened to it a lot, but just not enough to have it crack my top 10.
Yeah,
But I think again, I think they're a brilliant band. They're the best at what that sound that they do.
yeah. Not it's not even close. Not even close,
Nope.
man.
Nope.
Abort It, Vault of Horrors. I fucking love this band, but there were so many good fucking records that came out. I had to bump it in the near miss. It's just you know they're one of them bands. You know what you're getting. It's just straight death metal stuff. But I love Sev's voice. It's fucking great. They just it's just technically sound death metal. It's just done really well.
Okay. Okay. So next for me, it's going to be funny when I see you're going to laugh when I say this. Vomit Forth, Afraid of God. Because I said you're going to laugh because when this album first came out, I went, I didn't really like it.
Yeah.
And then I listened to it again and I went, play it again. And then I listened to it a third time. It was it's one of those embarrassing moments where you stare in the mirror and you go, what the fuck was I actually thinking?
Yep.
I think this album is great. I mean, sonically, it's unique. They cover a lot of ground. There's some metal, there's some hardcore, there's some death metal, there's some almost slammy parts. And I think the song structure, the songs don't all sound the same. You know what I mean? Like they vary enough tempo and enough groove and enough arrangement that I went back and again, I'm like, first of all, what was I thinking when I didn't like this the first time? And now I'm like, this almost made my top 10. What an asshole. What an asshole. So there I am, celebrating being an asshole. But yeah, Vomit Forth, Afraid of God.
That didn't even make my near misses because there's just so many better records. But yeah, it's a damn good record. There's a lot of good mosh parts on that record. It's the recording's way better than the previous. I hated the recording on the previous record.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Next one for me is Bring Me the Horizon with Posthuman 2. Great. Listen, man, like there's like 4 or 5 tracks on that record that are just fucking amazing, dude. Like so good. Like it's like one of them bands that just writes perfect songs. Um, but then there's parts of the record that are just like I'm gonna say this again. There's like goofy tracks on that record as well, but as a whole, like 10 out of the 12 are just bangers, man. I listened to that record a lot this year, but yeah, it's a near miss for me.
Okay. The my last near miss, this one I really, really struggled with. I really struggled with leaving this out of my top 10. Blood Incantation, Absolute Elsewhere.
Oh, okay.
This is this is the perfect modern psychedelic heavy record. Like I was just out at all Christmas Burns Red. I was talking to Adam and Mike. Shout out to Adam and Mike from Orthodox, and we were talking about Blood Incantation, and Mike and I were going on and on about how the new album is unbelievable. They took all the best parts of Time Wave Zero with the synths and the weird meow, 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 like all that stuff, and they laid it in with metal in a way that just makes sense. And then you remember these guys are from Colorado, and you're like, oh, they get good
Oh
pot
yeah.
out there. So yeah, it kind of makes sense. Let's get stoned and do some heavy Pink Floyd, man. But I think this album is great. I couldn't do the show. It was on a Monday night right before Thanksgiving. I really wanted to go, but I think this album is fantastic, and I think they're going to do a lot of touring off this, and I think they're going to get some recognition.
What did Adam think of that record? Was he like, ugh?
He didn't like. He hasn't listened to it. Mike was like, "Yo, that album is awesome," and then Adam went, "Well, would I like it?" And then Mike turned to him and said something along the lines of, "Well, there's actually songs. It's not just computers making noise." And Adam went, "All right, let's check it out." But Mike and I both agreed. Like, I think that album is great. Like, if you're into like I'm gonna go here. If there's any fans of the show who like Fish, I don't know why you'd be listening to us. But if you like that psychedelic stuff, Pink Floyd, if you're a big Pink Floyd fan, smoke some pot, rip some bong hits, and listen to Dark Side of the Moon, rip some bong hits and put this on, and you might actually enjoy it.
Yeah, I listened to it and I was like, it's not really my thing.
Yeah, it's way
I do
outside,
gotta
a
give
little
it.
bit
I
outside
gotta
your
give it a.
wheelhouse. Yeah.
I gotta give it another listen though because I do hear a lot of great things about it. All right, one more. A Killer's Confession with a Victim One. Um, Really, really good record. It's just there's just so many. Like I said, there's just so many better records this year.
This was a tough year.
Very tough. I mean, I couldn't come up with 10 LPs. It's 12. I just couldn't. It's just it
Look, for those
was
of you keeping
too.
score, Tim has officially broke every numerical box
Yep,
we've tried to put
I
together.
broke it all. I don't even care. There's just too many good ones.
All right. Everybody hold that thought. Tim's going to hit pause. We're going to go to intermission because I need to make a refill. So don't turn that dial. We'll be right back. All right. Jay is refilled and we're back. Okay. So we've covered singles. We've covered our surprise of the year. We've covered our EPs. And now we just covered our near misses. So what are the stuff that just fell short of the top 10? So Tim, let's talk about this year in general. Let's talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. So when you think about trends that we've observed doing the show, we cover a lot of ground, we listen to a lot of music. What are the trends what are the ones that surprise you that your reaction is, well, this is kind of interesting, I hope this persists? And what are the trends where you hope they go away?
I not that I hope this trend goes away, but I think that it's so overdone nowadays, and there's only a few bands that do it correctly. Is deathcore? It's too oversaturated. Only a few bands can really do it well. It's too overproduced. It's the same fucking shit every goddamn record, in my opinion. Like, there's only a few bands that do it really good. It's Disembodied Tyrant is great at it. Lorna Shore, of course, is great at it.
See,
You know,
I'm going to debate because my gotta go is the Lorna Shore ripoff because I don't consider they're more like to me they're a symphonic death metal deathcore type band, right? They're so when I think here let's set a baseline, right? When I think deathcore, you know what I think of? I think of Crown Magnetar.
okay.
That to me is middle of the room, planting a flag. Hey, we're here. We're deathcore, right? Lorna Shore, that's the thing I wish would go away. Everybody's trying to do that symphonic stuff,
Yeah.
that big 7 minute songs and screams. And hey, look, if you're, I mean, shout out to the guys at Worm Shepherd. I actually think they out Lorna Shore, to be truthful. But there's only going to be one Will Ramos. There's only going to be one Lorna Shore. But I
Yeah.
get where you're going, Tim. I mean, deathcore is like tough guy hardcore,
Yeah.
where it's one of those genres where you're not exactly reinventing the wheel,
Nope.
and if it's passable, people will be into it.
Yeah, I mean, there's only good bands like Breathing Process does it well. Signs of the Swarm does it well.
Yeah.
It's just there's just so many bands that just are not good at it, and it's just like I feel like they listen to a certain band's record and they just replicate it in their own way, and then it's just like, dude, like that's why you see a lot of these bands fall off after one record because it's just like everybody's just like, yeah, but this band does it way better. I don't need to hear your version of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
just like the same mosh parts every time, and it's just I'm over that shit, man.
That's fair. That's fair. Uh Trend that I hope sticks around. I'm a big fan of beats or rhythms that come from different types of music. So, for example, one of my favorite Deftone songs is "Here Comes the Butcher" because that's got that swing riff. Dun, 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 dun. Like I like that stuff. And when Body Box did "Scanty" this year, which should have went on my singles list, now that I think about it,
Me
or
too. I fucking forgot.
that reggaeton bridge in the song with Knock Loose with Poppy. Like I like that reggaeton top type rhythm, right? The bap, bap. Like I think it's different, and I hope that trend continues where more bands kind of get a little weird with it and say, "Hey, let's try and do something fucking different." Because to your point, right? If everybody's playing deathcore, you're just one in a pack full of deathcore. But once you
Yeah,
start
it's
to peel off and do different things, people notice.
yeah. I mean, it's I see I like that idea that you had, but I don't really notice that kind of stuff most of the times. I just go, okay, that's cool. Like I
Yeah,
never thought of it that way,
right.
but I see what you mean though. Like there I think metal is gonna have to come to a point where they add stuff like that in because it's gonna all I mean it already all sounds the same most of the time, but like
There's
I think you
so
do have to
much,
yeah,
Tim.
you
There's
do have
so
to branch
much.
it out a little bit.
You need to do something that people's ears will remember. Like what perfect example, that Vomit Fourth album.
Yeah.
Like when I mentioned that album in my head, all I heard was the riff for Sacred Apple. And I'm like, yeah, like I they do things a little bit differently, right? So for another band that I love, looking forward to next year, Paleface. If you
Yeah.
listen to their music, no offense, but I don't think their music is reinventing the wheel. But his vocals are what make them stand out because he can go at speed and he adds this flavor to it, right? And the newest song where they're kind of ripping off hair metal is insane. I can't wait to see where that goes. But yeah, I think to your point, bands need to get out of their comfort zone and do things a little bit weird. Not so far as you end up not touring and breaking up because it doesn't work, but do something different.
Yeah, I mean, there's got to be a trend that happens where like a new genre is kind of made. You know what I mean? Like, there's gonna be one band that just comes out and plays this type of music where you're just like, I've never heard that before, and then everybody jumps on it. It's kind of like when Converge used to put out records and everybody would just jump right on that shit. You know what I mean?
Yep. Irma Sugar. Yep.
Yeah, there's got to be like Gent, like that came out of pretty much nowhere at one point, and it's like nobody was doing all that bendy shit. Like who the fuck was doing that besides Fear Factory? I mean, not that Fear Factory is doing Gent stuff, but if you listen to their stuff, I mean, it's basically just all mosh parts, but really fast.
Mm-hmm.
You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? Like if you
Yeah.
slowed a lot of the Fear Factory down, it would just be disgusting mosh. Like just think of like one of their songs slowing it down and doing that as a mosh part. Like, come on, dude, that's
Yep.
heavy as fuck.
Yeah.
And I hope people listen. Somebody does that shit. Like you get Piss Christ playing and you do some of that shit and slower, and it's just a mosh part.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, Tim. So now let's talk about so the next chunk of bands are the bands that are too late to qualify. So by this, I mean,
Oh
these are
yeah.
bands that came out. I mean, we just had last weekend, we had another couple EPs come out. We just had the Victims EP came out. Frontier just came out this past Friday. So what are some of the albums that came out that you think if you had more time, they might have been on somewhere on your list, but you ran out of runway.
Jerry Cantrell's new record.
Okay.
I just didn't have. I listened to some of it, and there was just so much more I had to put in before I could finish that one. Songs I did here are really good. I love his voice. He's a fucking riff machine. I
Yes.
just didn't have the time. I'm definitely gonna be making time for it next week though, because I know it's a good record, and I probably fucked up not listening to it.
Okay.
I have
Uh,
I
how many you got?
have five. If you want me to just knock them out.
I've actually got more than you, so I'm gonna keep.
Oh, okay,
We'll
cool.
bounce back and forth.
Yeah, go ahead.
First one, shout out to Hunter Weeping from New Jersey. I love that album. Like it is abrasive, and it's got that it's nails, but it's got some bigger mosh parts, and Hunter, everything Hunter touches is amazing. I really liked it, but I didn't have enough time with it to have it actually crack my top 10 when we get to my top 10. You understand why? But yeah, that's my first late to the party.
Yeah, number two, Opeth with Last Will and Testament. Their last few records have been like that rockish, they went into like that classic rock sound kind of
Hmm.
thing. It was weird, but I read an interview about the new one. He's like, yeah, we went back to the heavy. And, of course we sound like Opeth, but there's heavy stuff. I got like three songs in. I'm like, these songs are too fucking long. I just don't have time for this right now.
We can't pay attention anymore.
Yeah, it's
No.
like I don't have time for 8 minute songs right now. I can't do it, dude. So I'll listen to that next week again. And I do know the songs I did listen to. The recording was super low, and I was like, what the fuck is going on with this?
I don't like when bands mix so low. I know they're trying to avoid the compression wars, but yeah, I
It's
I
like
love
super low.
I love Origin, but their last two albums have been mixed too low.
Yeah, it's like weird. Like, don't do
No.
that. It's
Then
2024.
you
You don't
gotta
have to don't
no,
overdo it, but don't
you
underdo it
gotta
either.
jack your headphones up.
Exactly.
Next late to the party for me, the newest Cure album,
Yep.
which I think is one of their best albums they've done in the modern Cure era. And by modern Cure, I mean, let's say everything after Bloodflowers. I think this album is great. I just didn't have enough time with it, but I find myself putting it on again and again and again. This is the Cure sounding the most the Cure they've sounded in a long time.
Yeah. I mean, that was next on my list. I just didn't have time with it, man. I put on like the first three songs. I'm like, there's just more shit I got to get to. And it
Okay.
was just, but yeah, that was next on my list as well. You nailed it. I mean, it's the
Shit.
songs I did here are good. And, you know what you're going to get with that band. And most of the time, it's the last few have been just that super, like, even the one Robin Ross did is just like super fucking, like,
That one is depressing.
it's depressing
It
as
is
hell. And
depressing.
I mean, good, great band, but like, I just knew I could go back to it and be like, all right, this is cool. Like, it doesn't have to make my list right now. That's
Okay.
how I felt about that one.
Okay. Next one I've got the newest Defeated Sanity.
Yeah.
Great album. I just didn't have enough turns with it. They have pulled in their jazzy bits more and more, almost like cynic aspects. This album, I thought they on the couple of listens that I was able to get in, it sounds like they found that nice happy medium where they're doing that technical brutal death metal, but they have enough jazzy parts with it that it doesn't feel like they're just like shoehorned in. Good album. I just didn't have enough time.
It's isn't it hilarious that that's my next one too?
Jesus, this is the closest. I can't wait to see what
Yeah.
our top tens look like. I wonder if they're going to be. I'm going to go on a limb and say probably four or five of our top tens are going to be the same picks.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Four or five. We're going to have four or five the same. All right, so I'll keep going then. Next, you're going to laugh when I say this. That Sabella album. I
I
really
hated it.
like. I know
Fucking
you hated
hated
it.
it.
All of our friends hated it. I don't care. I really like it. It's different. Undercore, right? Upside down, hardcore. Uh, I got two more. The Gigan album,
Yep.
which is fucking long and it's exhausting to listen to. Like it's good, but it's exhausting to listen to because there's too much, almost too much going on. That's one of those things I can literally put on in the background as an equivalent to like instrumental because there's so much zany shit going on. I can't even hope to pay attention to it, so it's decent background music. Um,
I got
Good
through like
band.
3 songs of that, and I was just like, Jesus
It's
Christ.
it's a lot. It's a lot. My last one, Ocean Grove. I
Oh, okay.
really like this album. The 2 or 3 times I've listened to it, I really, really liked it. It just came out very late in the year. There was no chance it was cracking that top 15, but really, really enjoy what they do with new metal.
I didn't have that on my not enough time list, but now I think about it, I agree. So I'm gonna add that onto mine with yours because it's just I did enjoy a lot of them songs, but I just didn't go back to it enough.
Right. There's so much. There's
Yeah,
so much that there's stuff that there's. I mean, the Vomit the Soul is an exception this year because I had enough time to go back to something that didn't just slap me in the face. Whereas normally, if it doesn't slap me in the face, I'm moving on to something else because we got too much stuff coming out.
exactly.
All
And then
right, Tim.
my last one is Devin Townsend with Power Nerd.
What a great title.
Like just he's another one that like he's a genius, man, and I love everything he does, but like he's getting too weird for me these days. Where he's just doing a lot of orchestra stuff, and it's just like, come on, dude, just give me another like fucking heavy record. Like the riffs on the record are great. I listened to it like once through, and I was just like, I hate saying it, but like I just don't have time for this one right now.
Hmm.
It's just so, like, believe me, I fucking love that dude. I would love to talk to him, but like, I just have. It was just he's getting too weird for me at some points. The single he put out before the record was fucking great, man.
Yeah, I
The
remember
title
you
track,
sharing that. Yeah.
it was really good, but then like there's just some songs where it's just like, can we stop with the noodling and orchestra voice stuff? Like I know that's what he's into now, but like
It's
I'm not into it as much.
get this shit out of here. Yep. Yep.
Yeah. But I mean his earlier records, everything he's done with strapping, yeah, genius. So
Okay. All right, Tim. Now we get to crack the top 10. So this is going to be number 10 through
are we
number
doing
6.
are we doing disappointments?
Yes, that's in the next question section
That's right.
after
I
this.
just wanted to make sure. So I have 12. So what do
Okay.
you want me to go do two of
Um
them real quick?
yeah, do 3 and then I'll start and then we'll be caught up.
All right. And there's this is in no particular order other than my
Yeah.
my top 5. So this is in no particular order right now. Throne with excessive guilt. That fucking record is so fucking good. It is
Uh-huh.
super fucking heavy. It is one of the tightest fucking records I've ever heard. I mean, just
Uh-huh.
every track on there just is slams, dude. I fucking love that shit, man. Um, I remember I listened to the singles that were coming out, and I was just like, Jesus Christ,
Yeah.
if this band get any
Expertly put
better.
together. Yep. Yep.
It's just so well written. I'm really hyped for that band, man. And the more I listened to that record, I could hear what's his name's influence on it. I mean,
Buster.
obviously he's in
Yeah.
the band, but I didn't catch a lot of the quirks on it till like the last 3 times I listened to it. Like I listened to it last night, and I was like, I did not catch this right
Yeah.
until like now. Like
Yep.
you can hear that Vil Jahara stuff in it, and it's just like, whoa, but he does it in like the hardcore way. It's dude,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that dude is a fucking
He's
really,
another
really
one.
good
Yeah.
songwriter, man.
Yeah.
I would love to get that dude on. He speaks pretty good English, so we can make it happen.
Yeah. I'll reach out. Fuck it.
Yeah. All right, number 11 for me is Fit for an Autopsy with the Nothing That Is.
Not surprised. Yeah.
Holy shit, man. I listened to that again coming home from work yesterday. Dude, that record is that's an ass beater, dude. They have a way of just writing some of the hardest fucking mosh parts in their stuff, and it's just like on this record they added in a lot of like that singing like bridge parts where it's not overdone and fucking Mickey Mouse sounding. It's just like a natural singing voice. That record is really surprised me, man, because I kind of felt like they blew their load on Absolute Hell, but
Mm-hmm.
then they just kept going, and I'm like, man, dude, this record is something else. The one before it was good, but this one is their best one in a long time. That shit is that's a savage fucking
Yeah,
record,
it's
man.
good. It's good.
Really good stuff, man. Number 10, 200 stab wounds, manual manic procedures. Yeah, dude. I can't ask for anything more out of that shit, dude. That opening track is so fucking good.
Yeah.
And I seen so many people talking shit on this band, like they phoned it in. Whatever, dude.
Yeah. What are you kidding me?
The
Phoned it in.
riffs, man. The
Yes.
riffing, dude.
Yes.
They
Monster.
they are the best modern metal band right now, in my opinion.
Yes. Yes. They're the closest thing we've got to Sepultura. They're the
Yeah,
closest thing we've got to Sepultura. Yes.
absolutely. Them, the Frozen Soul stuff. This is my favorite modern metal band right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Record's perfect.
Yep, it's
But
really
yeah,
good.
that's my three, and then we'll do whatever you want to
Now
do
we'll
after
bounce.
this.
Okay. So my number 10 came out in January and it's still kept to the top 10. Vitriol with Suffer and Become.
Oh, I thought
What
this
a
was your top.
ass beater. There is a war cry he does where he's yelling and it's like what is happening? Ridiculously heavy. I know they've got some lineup changes. Hopefully, Adam and Kyle can work out their differences. He can come back into the fold, but this album, the last album is good. This album is infinitely better. It's just heavier, it's tighter, and it's just exponentially more aggressive. Exponentially more aggressive. They were the last band I saw before the lockdown, and they were the first band I saw after the lockdown, and they just got better and better and better. And this album is a monster. It is a monster.
I'm gonna give this record one word. It's fucking punishing, dude.
Yes, yes,
It
because
is
they don't come off
punishing.
the gas. They don't come off the gas.
It is just not blasting, but it is just punishing all
Mm-hmm.
the whole time, man. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I think the record's extremely good. It doesn't hit my top for me, but that record is something else, man. Like, I think that band's gonna blow up.
I think so. I think so too.
Yeah, that shit. The riffing on that record is like that reminds me of Dave Davidson, but like a better death metal version.
Yes, yes, more aggro.
Yeah,
Whereas he's more
definitely.
technical, this is more aggressive.
Yeah, this is more raw, I guess
Yeah,
you could
going for
say
the
too.
throat. Yep.
Yeah, definitely. Punishing record though. If you
Yep.
like that kind of metal, yeah, Jay's right. It's a great record, man.
All right, Tim, what do you got? Number 9.
I don't know how to fucking say this band. Is it Gorilla?
Gr- Uh, Gira?
It
Gira, I
might be
think.
Gira. They put out a record called Coma. Dude, they're like, listen, man. I don't know if you really can call this black metal. Of course, it sounds like black metal. It's too overproduced to be an actual black metal band. But I'll tell
Right.
you what, man. In the modern era of blackened death metal with more of a black feel, they're the kings right now. There's nothing better. I mean, obviously, the best death metal band ever right now is Cattle Decap, but like this shit right here is it's like that thinking man's metal stuff where it's
Mm-hmm.
like it there's enough black metal in it, but it's just too overproduced for me to call it a black metal record. You know what I
It's
mean?
fair. Yeah, I get it. If it doesn't sound like it was recorded in the shoebox, it's not. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it has the black metal parts, like I said, but it is just so fucking well written and it is so fucking tight and just well produced. And oh man, I could not stop listening to that record when it came out. I mean, that that record and Fit for an Autopsy came out the same day. I couldn't stop listening to both of them. It was just back and forth, man.
Back and
Two,
forth.
two amazing records. But that record, I don't know if you've heard it. It's devastatingly good, man.
That album is on my list of albums I didn't get a chance to listen to this year.
Okay.
I never caught up to it.
It's
But now
just
I
a
will. I just
it's
made a
a
note.
devastating it like devastates your senses, man. That's the only thing I can say. It's just like wow. Like holy shit like and I that's another band that I see right now just I mean I actually think they blew up already, but they're going to get their time cuz that
Yes.
it's just so well done. I can't see them not blowing up.
Everybody I know that listens to that album absolutely loves it and raves about it and says they're great live. So maybe it's their time. Did they toured with like Uada
Yeah.
and Wolves at the Throne
Yep.
Room? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think Dan really likes that record as well.
Yeah, I know Pat does too. Yeah,
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 really
it's good
good, man.
stuff.
Just one of the best musician bands out right now, in my opinion.
Okay. Number 9 for me, Knocked Loose. You won't go before you're supposed to. I am surprised that they have resisted the pull for clean vocals. I thought a different shade of blue was okay. It was just okay. Mistakes Like Fractures was really good, and then they did that 3-song EP, and I was like, okay, I'm in. This album, I was blown away by how good it sounds. Again, it doesn't get repetitive. They do a lot of different and unique stuff with it. I saw them live in a sold out show. The room was packed. They were amazingly tight. They were amazingly tight when they opened for Slipknot in that summer tour. I think these guys, the next album is going to make them even bigger because I think I hate to say they haven't sold out, right? People say, oh, you sell out. No, they're playing bigger and bigger rooms. They're still making the music they want to make. It's still abrasive. It's still not really commercially viable. And yet they get bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah,
And that is for a band. I mean, they worked the Warp Tour circuit. They played This Is Hardcore. They kept themselves small and let it grow organically instead of shooting for the moon, changing their sound and trying to play arenas. And I think that's good for them. I think they got a long career ahead of them. I mean, they ended up on fucking Jimmy Kimmel,
crazy.
like, which by the way, I just saw today. It showed up on my Facebook feed. Megadeth playing Hangar 18 on the Arsenio Hall show. Yes.
How old is that?
Well, I don't know. Hangar 18 was what, 90? Is that 89, 91, something like that?
That's a long,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's ancient. But yeah, it was wild. But yeah, so shout out to them. I mean, I think I think they're just going to keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I mean, the room, half the people when I saw them at that sold out show, they were like the TikTok fans
Yeah.
who found them through TikTok. But there were a lot of people there who were old school fans, and it was, I mean, the Electric Factory was sold out. So
Yeah.
I think they're on the way.
Yeah, one thing I like about that band, it didn't make my top, but one thing I love about that band actually is they don't seem like the fame is really tearing them away from where they came from. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Like
Yes.
they bring out people that like or bands that like should get some spotlight. Like I just seen a video of like the dude with the one guitar player like standing on stage for like at like some local hardcore gig, and he's
Mhm.
just up there fucking jamming, and it's just like that's cool, man, because you ain't gonna see no Josta doing that shit, dude.
No, not anymore. Not anymore. No,
It's
they're
not gonna
they're
happen.
they're record crate kids. They're the kids who used to dig through the record crates at the record store, and it
Yeah.
shows. It shows.
And I
So
think I
yeah,
think that was a downfall for Code Orange too. They just got too big for their britches, and dude got
yeah.
an ego. Whether you want to
They
believe it or not, that dude's got a fucking ego.
Oh, he definitely has an ego, but I think they tried to do too much too fast, and it came back to
Yeah.
bite them.
Yeah,
Okay,
nothing
Tim.
against them, but the dude's
No,
got an
hey,
ego.
the result, the proof is in the pudding. The results speak for themselves. Whatever,
Yeah.
and suit your insert the one liner you want to use. What's your number 8?
Contention with artillery from heaven. Bro.
Yo, you want to talk about a fucking cinder block of an album? Like,
Bro.
unbelievable.
I sent this to Tornello on Wednesday night, and he messaged me back yesterday, and he was like, "Holy shit, that record's good." I told you, dude. It's that band that does that late '90s fucking militant metallic fucking metalcore
No
stuff,
frills, heavy,
bro.
hardcore. Yes.
It's
Yeah, it's a
so
cinder
fucking
block.
good. Yeah, I listened to that when that record came out. I was like, "Holy shit, this is what I've been needing all year."
Yeah.
It's
So Tim,
fucking good, man.
we should talk about the 90s stuff is coming back into play, like that 90s sound. We're starting to see way more of it, right? Didn't make my top 10 or anything, but Killing of a Sacred Deer,
Oh yeah,
right? That Final Resting Place we talked about. Um,
Serration.
uh all that stuff. That sound is it's making a move. It's making a move.
Yeah,
But
that
yeah, that
Serration
Contention album is so fucking
so
heavy.
fucking sick. That Serration record was good. It was just too short, and it was like a couple songs I think they just redid or something, but
Yeah.
like it was too short, and I was expecting a lot more out of the record. That should be on a disappointment for me actually.
Was that this year?
Yeah, it came out in June I think, July maybe.
No, it was this year.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was this
Oh
year.
shit.
Look it up real quick.
Hold
I
on.
forget what it's called. But I'm pretty sure that came out June-ish, July-ish maybe, and it was like real short.
Uh
The songs were like 2 minutes long. They were
no, you know
savage
what?
fucking
It
songs.
was September of last year. So it was close to the new year. That's why you're bleeding
What's it
over.
called?
Simulations of Hell.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, it
because
was
it
last
had
year.
there was 8 songs, but like 3 or 4 of them were released as singles before that. Yeah.
That's right. You're
Yeah.
right. Okay. Yeah, so I was expecting a lot more with it, but yeah, that was last year, so I'm an idiot. But yeah, back to that contention record. That record is if you like that 90, just picture August 1999 metallic hardcore. There you go, buddy. Metallic metalcore, I'll say.
Yes. Yes.
The good metalcore. The metalcore the way it's supposed to sound, not that fucking singing chorus, fucking happy Disney bullshit. I don't want to hear it.
It's Disney metalcore.
There's only one
That
band that does Disney metalcore right, and that's It Dies Today. Don't want to hear it.
Oh, I didn't want to. We're not even talking about that. All right, so moving along. Number 8. Number 8 for me. Gatecreeper, Dark Superstition.
I knew this was gonna be.
This band, this album is the perfect amalgamation of that Sonoran Desert stoner Fu Manchu, Caius, Queen of the Stone Age, like fuzzed out shit, and their version of death metal. And every song has a groove, and I go back to this album over and over. Again, I missed the headliner over and over and over again. I think it's they've reached a point where their sound is unique enough, not unique enough. It is truly unique, and they have truly leaned into incorporate their influences and where they come from. And I think it's just perfectly put together.
Yeah, I can't really get into that band that much, but like I see why people really love them. Didn't Nate from that band? He's the one that does the he's the dude that does fucking the Neon Nightmare, right?
I think so. Yeah,
I think it's Nate from Gatecreeper that does
I
that
think so.
band.
Yeah.
Yeah. I see why people really, really like that band. There's a few of them bands in that genre I just cannot get into. That's one of them. I
Whatever.
just don't really care for it. All of the dudes that I'm friends with love that shit, man. They're like, you don't like it? I'm like, meh, I've heard it before. If
Yeah.
I'm gonna listen to that, it's gonna be 200 stab wounds. That's it.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Same
All
with
right.
Undeath. I just can't get into Undeath.
We haven't mentioned that album at all, and it's good. I mean, they have a sound and they stick to it, and they make more of it, and it was enjoyable. It's just it didn't do enough new to make me pay attention this year.
Yeah, I just can't get into that band. But it's all good. They're good at what they do. It's just not for me.
What's your number seven, Tim?
Extortionist with Devoid of Love and Light. Holy fuck, man. I don't even know how to explain this record, but came out on one of our favorite labels. I'm sure you can name it right now.
Oh, it's Unique Leader.
Unique Leader, you got it. Reminds me of weirdly the Contortionist with that one record they put out in like 2012. What was it called? Oh god damn. I forget what it's called, but it reminded me of that record, but more like electro, more just like genty bounce parts. But goddamn, that record is so fucking good. It's just super hard to explain. I don't know if you heard it yet, but
I actually saw them two
oh,
weeks
did you?
ago. They were on the they opened for Crown Magnetar.
Did you
It
like it?
was it was Crown Magnetar, E Dismemberment, Extortionist, and some other band. I don't remember the name. Yeah, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad.
Yeah, it's like very
That
it's like
the
8 string heavy Electra. It's really good, dude.
Yeah, the one thing I will say though, it didn't really land with me, but that may be more of the fact of there wasn't a lot of diversity on that lineup.
Yeah.
It was all very much in that deathcore vein. So none of it really it was good. It didn't stand out to me. I think it was them. I'm pretty sure it was them. They're from the Pacific Northwest. What, Coeur d'Alene? Yeah, that's them. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, it's a great record though. If you're into like that genty stuff with like electronics added in with like a really like slow edge but still heavy and fast. It's
Hmm.
super hard to explain that record. You would be better at explaining it, but I loved it, man. I couldn't stop listening to it.
Okay. All right.
How many we got left here?
We got two more in this section, then we go back to some questions. So my
That's what I
number
thought. Okay.
seven, Boundaries, Death is a Little More.
Oh, I thought this would be higher on your list.
Uh Wait to see what's in the top five, you'll understand.
Okay.
I thought this album was great. I think they've really leaned into the heavier side that they can do. The fact that the drummer can sing and they've added the clean singing in a couple of songs helps set it off. They also did
Balance
some
it.
yeah, and they did an electronic interlude and some electronic stuff, which really worked. I really, really like this album. I thought saw them on their co-headliner with Orthodox. They were great. I just saw them at Christmas Burns Red. They were great. Like I think that next album may blow them up big time. I really do. I also think the next Orthodox album is going to blow them up huge too. But
Yeah.
I thought this album was I wasn't sure what to expect because they had that one single where I was like, I don't know if I like this. The whole rest of the album is great. It's a long album, which is kind of surprising that I paid attention as long as I did. But yeah, this was a great album. This was the year of metalcore for me. Um, Fantastic, fantastic, and I can't wait to see what they do next.
Yeah, can't believe that wasn't higher up on you for you, but
Mm-mm.
I'm excited to hear your top five because now I'm super confused.
All
All
right,
right, I
Tim.
have I have
What's your
one
number
more.
six? Yeah,
High Parasite with Forever We Burn. That
that's the what that's the guy from what is that?
my dying pride.
Yes, yes, the bald guy. Yeah, that was good. That was good.
Yeah, great fucking record, man. If you just like straight up metal with some melodic undertones in it, and if you like his voice, you'll love that record, man. That shit caught me way by surprise. I actually I was listening to Apple Music, and sometimes like if you let a record play, it'll just play similar artist.
Yeah.
And I just let some record go, and this song came on. As soon as the first riff came in, I was like, "Hold on a second." I pulled my phone out. I'm like, "Who is this?" And I was like, "Oh," I was like, "Cool." And it was a single, and I was like, "Damn, dude!" I'm like, "They don't have anything else." And then literally on Apple Music, you can like favorite stuff. So I favorited it real quick, and then literally 2 days later, I got a notification that the record was announced, and I was like, "Oh," I was like, "Okay." And that was my most anticipated record of the year, and it did not disappoint, dude. That's a fucking just
I liked it.
well rounded record.
Yeah, I liked what I heard. I really did.
Yeah, it's really good tracks on it, man. I was super surprised at the direction he went with his, with that band. And I listened to a lot of interviews with him, and he said the same thing. He was just like, I was only he was saying I was only supposed to do guest vocals on it and just release it, and then I liked it so much. Now I'm in the band. And I was like, cool, you should because the songs are great, man.
Yeah. Hey, serendipity, right? Pleasant surprises.
Yeah, definitely.
So the last for this section, numbers 10 to 6. My number 6 is Peeling Flesh, the G Code.
Oh yeah,
So many bands are biting into the slam sound these days. And I think the two bands doing it best are Peeling Flesh and Snuffed on Sight.
definitely.
And this album is so unique and so different. The hip hop bits, and there's some almost like hardcore type song structures. And then they do parts where it's just pig burps and gurgles and dun, 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 like just hit somebody like ignorant caveman, like bone through your nose, smack somebody with a femur type shit. Um, I
Yeah.
listened to this album a terrifying amount. They were amazing when I saw them in when they toured with Snuffed on Sight. But yeah, this album, based upon the listens alone, it had to go into my top 10 because the listen count was huge.
Yeah, the way you described that record is fucking crazy or hilarious and crazy. It's, smack
You can
someone with a
picture it,
femur.
right? Like a caveman with a bone through his nose, hitting somebody with a giant, like, fucking stegosaurus femur, just whang over across the head. Like,
Fucking love
it's
it.
just laughable, ignorant, Fred, like, kind of like Fred Flintstone, socially
It's
and seasonally afflicted personality disorder or something. I don't know.
speaking of slam. Did you hear that record, Infectious Jelking? I
Yes,
don't even want to say the title of it because people might get upset, but
it is offensive, but yeah, that's all. You know what? I put that next to Infinite Annihilator. Somebody goes into a genre and they say, we're just going to crank it up to 15 and just let it run. And that's basically what they did.
do you know who's in that band? Like who are they?
I think it's a bunch of people doing it as a joke.
Okay, because I was thinking that it was members of the fucking band we were just talking about. Why am I forgetting fucking the band you just had in your
Let's see
top?
here. Members. No members listed.
Hmm. I thought it was like members of like Snuffed on Sight or fucking the fucking band you just said, and why am I blanking?
I guarantee you it is.
Why am I blanking about the band that was just in your
Slam
top?
Slam Shorties.
Yeah, well, who's the band that we were just talking about?
Crown
That's
Magnetar?
no, the slam band that's in your top.
Peeling Flesh.
Yeah, I don't know how did I just forget that, but I swear it's members of that band or Snuff. It's got to be.
It doesn't say.
Yeah, we got to figure out who that is. We can't say the
Infectious.
title. We'll get killed off the
Yeah,
internet.
we'll be not only demonetized, we're not even monetized. They'll just flag us and say you guys can never be monetized.
Yeah.
Yeah, wild. Definitely they lean into the bit. So we did 10 to 6. So now let's go with some questions. Tim, what are some of the biggest disappointments for you this year?
Oh, I'm gonna piss you off right here. That new Darkest Hour record, I just couldn't get into.
I didn't even listen to it.
Wow. Okay.
I didn't even listen to it.
I actually thought this was gonna be in your top.
Nope. Nope, didn't even
Wow.
listen to
I'm
it. Darkest
surprised.
Hour, we're talking about,
Yeah.
right? DC, right? Mike
Yeah.
Schliebaum? Nope. Never even listened to it.
Wow. It's very blah. Didn't do
Um,
anything for me.
if I want to talk about disappointments, I will say I think the new Nails album is good, but I think the sequencing was terrible. Some of the better songs were shotgun throughout the album. There were some really couple of really good songs that they could have just done bang, 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 and then taken a beat. But I mean, the leadoff track was not what I would have picked for the leadoff.
Yeah,
So
it's
it's
weird.
not a bad album. It's just sequenced weird.
It's definitely
I
weird.
That was disappointing for me. Um, and I don't know. This may be just me, but the Speed album, I it all sounded the same to me. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me. But every single song sounded the same. It did not do enough in my ears to make me say I want to listen to this again.
Yeah, I was the same actually. It's good. It's good for what it is. It's good hardcore, but yeah, same for me. I didn't need to go back to it at all. I mean, I've seen people's best of lists, and that's almost on 80% of them.
Everybody's, and it's
Yeah.
like, am I? Is it me? It's Principal Skinner. Is it me? Am I the one who's wrong? No, it's the kids who are wrong. I don't think it's us, Tim. It just doesn't.
Yeah, it's I did not need to go back to it at all.
No.
I think the EP was way better.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Really cool dudes though.
Yeah. I mean,
I've talked to them. They're cool.
they seem real nice and real fun, and they put on a good show. They put on a great show. It's just the album did not stand out for me. There was little to no differentiation.
Yeah, it was like what do we say? It was like Trapped Under Ice, but like just not as good.
That sounds like something we would
Yeah.
say.
Yeah.
As far as disappointments go, that's probably it for me for disappointments. What about you?
Yeah, the new Deicide was a disappointment for me. It was phoned in for me. I kind of feel like he just phoned it in. He's getting older. Whatever. There's a couple cool tracks. It was a disappointment. The new Ingest It, that was a disappointment for me. The two records before that are savagely heavy.
Mhm.
I felt like they just took them songs from the old other records and just let's just redo it some with a add another part here. It's the same thing with my deathcore thing. It's just like
Gotcha.
enough already. Um, Pain with I Am, that was super disappointing. God, that record sucks. Pain is Peter from Hypocrisy's other band. God, it sucks. And then my last one, The Browning with Omni. God, the record before this was a fucking masterpiece. This one just I don't know what the fuck they did on
Didn't
this
they
one.
put out a single that was pretty good?
Yeah, there's good tracks on it, but Jesus Christ, it's just fucking like oh, like I don't know. I just did not do anything for me. Maybe I have to listen to it again or something, but the first like two listens, I was just like, this is not doing it for me. And I was super looking forward to that record because the last one, like I said, was so good.
I gotta listen to it. If you don't like it that much, I really gotta listen to it. Jeez.
Yeah, I'll listen to it again this week coming up, but
Okay.
it's
So now, not disappointments, but were there any albums that you didn't get a chance to listen to for whatever reason? You know it came out and you didn't hear it. Like you just talked about Darkest Hour. That I know that came out. I didn't even hear it. Is there anything that came out that you just did not get a chance to listen to?
I don't think so. No.
Jesus.
Mostly I'll usually go through every new release. I'll at least play one track and if I think it sucks, it goes right in the fucking delete.
So I haven't heard the new Chat Pile.
That
I
that
I
record is fucking crazy.
I have not gotten to that. The Body has a new album. Haven't heard it. They did a split with Disfig, and I love their splits more than their albums. Didn't hear it. Chained to the Bottom of the Ocean.
Mm,
Didn't hear it.
it's all right.
So those are the four that stuck out for me as shit that I just never. I mean, I could sit here and I could go through my Bandcamp. I can tell you that I know Planet Killer had some stuff this year that I didn't listen to. I know Promise Breaker had a brand new album that I didn't listen to.
Okay,
Um,
there you go. I didn't hear that.
what else? I just never even listened to.
The chain to the bottom of the ocean, it's all right. It's nothing crazy. As you might
Uh,
like it.
uh, you know what? I didn't call out the Full of Hell collab was pretty good.
Oh shit, I forgot about that.
With Andrew Nolan, that was pretty good. The Enforced EP was good. Drug Church, I think I listened to it half, so I'm not even going to count that. I never even got to it. Suno did Penn Temple. Nate No Face had a new album.
I, I
Um,
I like the stuff he put out this year.
I like him. Period. I think he's a brilliant dude.
The last
Uh,
one he did was pretty good.
yes, yes. Mourned. Never listened to the
Oh
new Mourned.
shit, I forgot about that.
Um, I didn't listen to the new Mole album.
I'm surprised you didn't listen to that more because you're the one that told me to keep listening to
I
or kept
know, I
telling me
know.
that you should listen to it.
I never got around to it. Terrena, I don't think I listened to that. Um,
Not a fan, honestly.
Disfiguring the Goddess had an album this year. I didn't listen to it.
Oh, that is really good, actually. I forgot about that.
Softly with You. I didn't listen to that. I didn't listen to the new Extinction AD.
That's not bad. You'll probably really like that, actually.
My browser just shit the bed. Where'd it go? What else?
If there's something you should listen to, it's that Disfiguring and the Extinction AD. I think you'll like both of them.
You know what? You know it showed up on this list, but I never listened to the new Sumac. That was this year.
I didn't care for it.
Um, you know what didn't make my list, but I should have called it out because it's so unlike the rest of the shit I listen to. Departure Chandelier,
Oh yeah.
really weird black metal. Pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah, I
Neither
enjoyed that.
neither one of us talked about Terminal Nation.
I didn't care for it.
I don't think I listened to it. Yeah. So all that's all shit. Many Blessings had a split this year. Didn't listen to it.
Oh wait, Terminal Nation. No, no, no. That record's good. I
It
just
is.
it did. Yeah, it just didn't make my. Yeah. I thought
Yeah.
you were talking about someone else at first.
I'm looking at all this shit that came out that I'm like, yeah, I never got to it. It's just it was a
Man,
lot.
that was a heavy pour right there.
Good thing we're coming up on the end here. We can start so won't start slurring as bad as I started.
Good thing it's
So
a Saturday.
what biggest disappointments? What did you get to? All right, Tim. Now we're gonna start you again. Album of the year, numbers 5 to 2. So you're not doing your album of the year, you're doing the four before it. So start
All
with
right,
number 5.
Soft Kill, Escape Forever.
Okay.
You knew that was coming.
Uh-huh.
Who didn't know that was coming? Um, if there wasn't so many good metal bands, metalcore-ish bands that came out, this would have been my top record of the year. I couldn't stop listening to it. I mean, this is going to be the weird thing to say too. I think it's one of his weakest records, but goddamn, it's good.
I can see that. I can see that. I mean,
It's
Rip City, Dead
yeah,
Kids Rip City was great.
that's a
Um,
fucking masterpiece.
and the one after that was amazing. I can see
Canary
that.
Yellow.
Yes, yes.
Dead Kids is a masterpiece record. That will go on my masterpiece list. Every song on that record's good. Every single fucking song on that record's good. This one, it's his weakest, but I still loved it. It's just,
Okay.
I don't think it's bad at all. Obviously, I don't. It's in my top 10. It's in my top 5. So it's just, and like I said, it would have been my record of the year if it wasn't for the other 4. So
Right,
it's a
right.
weird what I'm saying, but you get what I mean.
Yeah, no, I get you. I get you. So my number 5, 156 Silence with People Watching.
Okay.
I love anybody who's been with Tim and I since the beginning, since the I think it was the last year that Tim did Ill Street News best of. I think it was 2020. My top pick was Irrational Pull by 156 Silence. It was
Yep.
Irrational Pull and Napalm Death. Throws of Joy and the Jaws of Defeatism. They, by the way, have a new album coming out this year. I'm pretty convinced of
Oh,
it.
okay.
Um, I loved Irrational Pull. I thought it was very unique and very different. Then the follow-up album came out, Savage. I don't know. It's Salvage. I don't know what it was. I did not like it. I thought it was boring and formulaic.
Very, very boring.
This one came out and it's like they hit the reset button. So the clean vocals work, like the song structure where they change the song structure where he whispers a little bit and it just works. This is one of those albums I put it in and I go the full length and then I go right back to the beginning. And I was very, very reluctant to listen to it because I hated the last one. I just did not like the last one. I was so underwhelmed. And then I finally got around to listen to this and I've listened to it so much it cracked my top 5.
Yeah, I
Like
really, really enjoyed it too.
I could not believe how good it was. And then when I saw them live, they played like product placement and the stuff where he actually sings, and it really works. Like
Yeah,
it
great.
sounds
Yeah,
fantastic.
great
I think
record.
they're going out with Victims in the spring. They're one of those bands that's just right below getting up into the same tier as like your Orthodoxes and your Boundaries. They're nipping at those heels.
100%. Could not agree more. I do have to listen to that like a couple more times. So it didn't like I listened to it like twice, maybe 3, and then I was just like, yeah, I'll get it.
I would say just do the first 5, 6 songs till they get to the slow one that it's almost electronic. Where if you can get to that, just know from there the whole album just picks up speed. I am pleasantly surprised by how amazed I am by that album.
How many do you have left? Because I'm trying to guess if I know probably the rest of them. Four?
Four.
I know two of them. All right. Number what is this? Four for me?
You're number four.
Static X Project Regeneration 2.
Okay.
Yep,
Okay.
loved it. Um my first listen, I was like, damn, this is not as good as number one. My second listen, I was like, yeah, I'm an idiot. This is just as good, if not better. That record is so good. I see so many people talking shit on that band because, oh, they're using Zero. Shut the fuck up.
Shut up. Do you
Shut
like the
up.
music? Do you like the music? Then shut up.
It's fantastic, man. It's just like that fucking, what do they call it? Dark disco or whatever.
Yeah.
It just hits, man. It hits for me. There's so many good parts in it. The Wayne parts are great. It's just, well, Tony, just the bass lines are great. Everything's great. I love it. I don't give a fuck if it's a dude from Dope. Who cares? I just don't
Who
care.
who cares? It's enjoyable and you like it. Just shut up and enjoy it.
They did both them records justice. I love it, man. Could not wait for it to come out. It was supposed to come out last year, and it came out. It got bumped. I'm happy it did though, because it was well worth waiting for.
Okay. I mean I only listened to it once, but I enjoyed it. And
Yeah, it's good,
it was
man.
one of those, I really like this. I'm kind of surprised. Yeah, good pick. Number four for me. This one I know you knew. I know you saw this one coming. Cane Hill, A Piece of Me I Never Let You Find.
Yep.
Again, late entry. Holy shit. This is up there with 156 Silence, where they put out the album and I kind of sat there with my mouth open going, I can't believe how good this was. Again, I mean, I think he sold me when I saw them live and he said, we're going to play something slutty. You okay for us playing something slutty? And they went into Fade and just the heavy parts fit his vocals, the
Yep.
singing works, and the song sequencing. I mean, and they're not long songs too, which is another thing to think about, right? They're all about 3.5. Uh, I think this album is great, and I truly hope. I mean, they're going out with Mugshot and Fox Lake.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're not coming near here. I think they're playing Mechanicsburg.
Yeah, they are.
Um,
You're right. I just seen
but
that.
yeah, this I hope they, and again they were on the same show as 156 Silence, and between those two and Sons of Swarm, I was blown away. I hope this band gets big. I really hope for their sake this band gets big
Me too.
because it is a expertly put together album. The sequencing is great, the tracking is wonderful, and it literally is. It gets to the end and you go, oh my god, it's the end. It started again. Yep,
Yeah.
that's my number four.
All right. Number three, Profiler at Digital Nowhere. This is everything you want new metal to be. It's perfect. I could not. I'd listen to it. I would not be surprised if it's my most listened to record in my last FM. There's
Okay,
probably, I'd say, if there's 10 songs in my last FM for top 10, I guarantee four of them are in there. That's how many times I listened to this record. It's that good. Everything you want new metal to be. I'm pretty sure they're going to be the biggest band doing that new metal sound in the next year or two. I just think they're that good. They're out of the UK. I can't say enough good things about that record. It's fucking the vocals are good, the riffing's good. It's everything's great. I just don't think there's a band in that genre that tops them.
that's fair. That's
I don't
fair.
think there will be for the next couple of years. Honestly, if they keep putting out songs, you're not even coming
It's
close.
good. I mean, it's really good. It's really good.
Any new metal kid listening to this right now, if you do not know that Profiler record, you need to jump. You need to turn this off right now and go listen to that. Because I
Yes.
guarantee you will come back and tell me, yeah, you're right. It's that good.
Yeah, it is. It's very, very, very well done new metal. Yep. Yep.
Yeah. Great, man.
Number three for me, Candy. It's Inside You. This album is a fucking it's a Brillo pad of hardcore in the sense of it is just abrasive and the electronic stuff makes it jarring. Again, like it's abrasive to your ears. They do some sampling stuff, they do some industrial bits, they do some electronics, they do some really aggressive hardcore. No songs are longer than 3 minutes, I don't think. And they're great live. And this was one of those albums I kept going back to, and I specifically know I kept going back to it because every song is so different. You don't get tired of it.
Yeah. That was my favorite record to modal onto this year.
Yes, yes. And then they followed it up with a banger of an EP.
Yeah, it's good, man.
It's fantastic. If you like Pitch Shifter, if you like any of that industrial type new metal, like your Down the Suns and your American Head Charge, think about that industrial stuff, KMFDM, Ministry. Take the industrial part and get a lot more abrasive, a lot more hardcore, a lot less like dance oriented. This is the thing for you. It's fantastic.
100%.
All right, that was my number three. All right, Tim, we're down to the last two. If I don't know what your number two is, but I think I know what your number one is. Go for it.
I think I know what your number two is.
Okay,
I think I'm going to say it right now.
go for it.
It's Graphic Nature. And who
Yes,
are you when no one is watching?
yes, yes, yes. And shout out to Harvey. He lost out by like 10 listens to my number one. But
I,
this
I
album,
I knew your last four. I already know them all.
this album is unbelievable.
Yeah. I think Human is the track of the year on that record. God damn, I could just feel the fucking emotion come out on that song, man.
Hmm.
I mean, we've talked to him, we're friends with him, so I know the lyrics on this record are very, very personal for him, and I could tell in this song, man, that song hits hard, dude. It is a fucking great record. It's so fucking well done. Listen, man, I think my favorite country for music right now is the UK. They just put out so many good bands. Profilers out of UK, Graphic Nature. I mean, we could just keep going and going and going with the bands.
They're the ones touring. They're going out in Europe. Throne, Crystal Lake, Unity TX, Graphic Nature.
Wow, good for him, man.
Good for Harvey and the guys. That is fucking awesome. Berlin, Hamburg, Cologne, Utrecht, Leipzig, Antwerp, and it ends in Prague. Is
Yeah,
that in Prague?
I
Gothenburg. So Sweden, Norway, Germany, Austria, Denmark, France, the UK. Good for them. Good for them.
yeah. Here's another record. If you've heard the Profiler record, I'm gonna tell you again. Turn this off. Go listen to that Graphic Nature record. It's so good. It's perfect. It's just you could feel it, man. Like that. Them dudes just write with emotion, and they put it to the record, man. And not only is it heavy as fucking balls, it's just the way they input them electronics in there and the way they just come out of nowhere with these mosh parts are just it's unbelievable, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think they would top the record before that, but this record blew that out of the water for me. Like literally, it's hard to say that it like I forget what that other record's called, honestly. It is super hard to put a record out 10 times better than that record.
Yes. Yes. In the same year, no less.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, how do you do that? How do you make it 10 times better in that short of time?
I don't know. I don't know, but
Usually it takes a
yeah.
band to like go out and tour a little bit, play some shows,
Mm-hmm.
get
Mm-hmm.
some press going, and that they went right back at it and they topped it by 10. Crazy, dude.
Mm-hmm.
All the fucking love for that band, man. Seriously, dude.
I hope they blow the fuck up opening for Throne. I really
Yeah,
do.
me too, man.
I thought the last album was great. I think this album, and they made it all the best parts of the last album they improved on with this album.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I listened again, 10 listens, 10 or 12 listens was the difference between this and my number one. I think this album is great. I wish I break a leg. Harvey and the guys, they got two headline shows coming up. I think it's tonight. I think it was last night and tonight, I think actually.
I think you're right.
I gotta find, wait a minute. It
If it
was,
was tonight, it's already done.
yeah, tonight in Manchester.
Yeah, so
Yep.
it's over because it's what is it, 2 a.m. there?
Yeah, we should text Harvey. How'd it go? But yeah, that album's great. Like the album is great. I should have won the windbreaker. It's really so good. I hope they do well on this Euro run and they get to come to the States. I hope
Yeah,
somebody like a Knock Loose or whatever picks them up and says, "Hey, why don't you come over and do 20 dates with us?"
yeah. Great
I mean,
band, even better dude.
yes, yes,
Love
he's
talking
just
to
the
him.
nicest guy. All right, Tim, we got one question, then we're gonna do our album of the year. What was the best show you attended this year? What was the best live show you saw?
I went to zero shows this entire year.
Are you kidding me?
Zero. Not one.
It's unacceptable.
I know, man. Listen, like,
Well, but then again, you also switched jobs. You had a lot of shit going on in your personal
yeah,
life. Like changing jobs is no joke, man. You lose 3 months easy.
Yeah, dude,
Easy, just
it's
getting in the groove.
and I'm glad that you understand that because I was, the first half of this year, I was super depressed with, like, dude, like, I don't ever fucking tell people that shit, but like, I was super depressed, man. I couldn't do it anymore. I was ready to give up on that shit and just fucking take all my chances. But like, if finally I found a new job, I get up at fucking 4:30 in the morning, dude. Like, it's hard for me to go to shows,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I'm not going to stop going, but like, I just couldn't do it this year. I honestly don't think I went to one show this year. The last show I think I went to was Orthodox last December.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Well,
I
yeah, but
literally
again,
think that's the
you
last
had a
one.
lot going on this year. Um,
And
my
then I got COVID, and I was just like,
Yeah,
I
and
don't
then
want to
well,
get
then
this
you had your
again,
fucking
man.
nosebleed, so you missed the Slipknot show,
Yeah,
right?
I was gonna go to that, yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
I just had health shit going, and like COVID just killed me. Like the way I felt from COVID in February, I was just like, I fucking can't go around crowds right now. Like I thought I was
I don't
dying
blame
the
you.
one day. I literally thought I was gonna die the one day. It was so bad.
I don't blame you.
But like I even told Brianna, I said I'm not going anywhere in January and February. Don't even ask me because that's when I keep getting it. Is fucking January, February. I'm
Well,
just
yeah,
done with
because
it, dude.
it's the winter and you're in an indoor space with a bunch of other people. And at a metal show, it's not like everybody's showering and they have quality
Yeah.
grooming, everybody's wearing deodorant. Um,
Dude, that added to like my fucking my fucking immune system was fucked to like May. Like it was awful, dude.
ugh,
I just
that's
wouldn't I just refused to get it again this year and I was just like I can't. So
I don't blame you. I don't blame you. I think so when I think about the best shows I saw this year, it was a toss up between the most memorable shows. Sleep Token was amazing.
I was
Like
gonna say, yeah, it's probably see, I live
uh,
through you because you tell me everything.
as
So
far as memorable goes, Sleep Token was amazing. I thought the Limp Bizkit show, I sat in the back of my mouth open. I couldn't believe how good that was. Um, I've seen Gideon twice. The Dillinger show I saw up in New York with I went with my brother, which was Dead Guy, Candy, Car Bomb as openers. Unbelievable. But I actually think the best show I saw this year had to be Slipknot and Knock Loose because
wow.
Knock Loose was really, really good. But I could not believe how good Slipknot sounded. I mean, it's got to be hard for Corey to do some of those older songs because your voice changes. You can't scream like that anymore. It's like Chino can't do teething. Um, but they put on such an amazing show that I sat there grinning the whole time. And I have a funny feeling my experience to equal that this year is going to be those two Metallica shows in May.
Oh yeah. I'm going to one of them at least. So
Are you going? What you doing? Did you go? Did you get tickets yet?
I think now we're gonna get them in after the new year. The same crowd I went with last time. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna do the Pantera one.
Yeah, because Friday is Ice Nine Kills and Limp Bizkit, and Sunday is Suicidal and Pantera.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna do the Sunday one.
Yeah, well, let me know because if you're going to that Sunday one, I'll go early. I'll bring my nephew's coming with me on Sunday, which is kind of funny. He's like 20, so he's never been to a show like this. It's gonna be kind of wild.
Yeah, yeah. I can't miss. See, I can miss Limp Bizkit again because I know they're gonna tour. They're gonna keep touring.
Yeah, why
I
wouldn't
don't
they?
know
You
how
know?
many times Pantera is gonna keep doing this, and I'm not missing it. That show we went to was fucking incredible, dude. I don't give a
Yeah.
fuck. Oh, it's, shut the fuck up.
Yep.
You know what the funny thing is about that Pantera reunion? Before it happened, everybody was saying if anyone does it, it's got to be Zach. It's got to be Zach. Everybody in the world said it. As soon as he does do it, then they have a problem with it.
Yeah,
So
everybody's
shut the
just
fuck
it's
up.
idiots. I was like, so some of the other shows I saw this year that stood out. I saw that Body Snatcher Spite tour,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the openers are Mouth for War and Throne, which was wild. Um, the I just saw Crown Magnetar, that was good. The Sides of Swarm show was amazing. The Whitechapel, my first time seeing Whitechapel, opening for Lorna Shore with Kubla Khan and Sanguisugabogg. And that Whitechapel show, I could not believe how much I enjoyed that because I'd never seen them live before. And I just
I'm
bought
glad you checked
tickets.
that out.
I
Yeah.
just bought tickets to the upcoming tour. Because I'm like, fuck it, I'm going again. That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm glad you checked that out actually, because
Yeah, it was really good.
I'm glad you're realizing how great that of a band they are.
Yeah, yeah, really, really, really good. But yeah, those are my memorable shows this year. I mean, I only did one day of This Is Hardcore. Um,
I,
we
d-
talked about Not Loose.
I lied. I didn't go to a show. I went to a baseball game once in April. That was my only event I went to.
You know who I saw twice this year? It was good. Gideon. Saw them twice this year. I saw them headline in AC. Then I saw them at Christmas Burns Red, and they were good. Um, this coming year, what do I have tickets to so far? I've got tickets to that Chelsea Grin show, that Whitechapel show, Throne. Should be some interesting stuff this year. There'll be some really interesting stuff. So Tim, before we get to our album of the year, what are you looking forward to next year? What do you know that's coming out that you're like, or know that's coming out, or have a feeling that's going to come out that you're like, yeah, I'm in for this. I'm really excited for this.
Deftones.
You think they're doing another one?
It's done.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's done.
it's
Okay.
done. It's getting mixed. It's not done. Music's done. It's getting mixed and mastered. That's coming out. That'll be, you know, that'll be the fucking automatic album of the year until I hear the
Proven
rest of
otherwise.
everything.
Yep.
Um, I don't really know like what else I'm expecting. Honestly, I mean, obviously you're gonna get all the usual stuff. I'm hoping Fleshwater puts out a new record. I hope, and people are gonna kill me for this. I hope we get like one or two Pantera songs with that lineup. I would love to hear something new.
Be interesting. Yeah, be interesting.
Yeah, just give us like a fucking one track. Give us one track. Let's
Okay.
hear it. Um, I honestly don't. I mean, I would take a new Cattle record. I doubt that'll come out. Um, we might get a new Limp record.
Yeah, you really. Fred Durst posted a picture the other day, him working in a studio. So,
Yeah, I mean that would be cool. Shit, it's hard to think, man.
I'm thinking so. Announced so far. Paleface has a new album coming out in January. I'm really looking forward to that. I think Whitechapel announced a new album too, so I'm looking forward to that. Loathe they're coming back to the States, so which means they have to have an album on the way. They can't tour
Yeah,
off that
yeah,
same
yeah.
album again. Same with Napalm Death. They've already announced a tour, which means that album is going to be coming soon. I know Fox Lake is out of the studio. Curious to see what they come up with next. Orthodox will be next year,
Oh yeah.
and I think
Yep.
that's going to be big. I'm still going to hold my breath for the new Drowner album. Wink,
Yep.
wink, nudge, nudge. You guys got to keep. I'm just going to keep pestering you. Um,
We might get a new Nine Inch Nails record.
yeah, yeah. I would go see them again. I haven't seen them in quite a while. I would go see them again.
Yeah. Now that I think of it, I want to go back to biggest disappointments real quick. This year for me, and I don't listen to the same hip hop rap that most people do. I don't listen to the mainstream Kendrick shit. I don't like any of that stuff. It was super weak for like underground, like boom bap hip hop stuff this year. There was really not that many good records at all. I mean, Lloyd Banks put out one of the best hip hop records, I think, this year, but like there just wasn't anything really good, that good for me, which is strange because I usually can find about 12 good records a year, but there's like maybe four. So I'm really disappointed that hopefully 2025 brings out a lot of good, underground stuff. But yeah, I mean, I'm the same with you, do back to records. I need that Drowner record. Even if they do just all new stuff,
We're
cool,
gonna fly out to
whatever.
Portland and steal the Masters.
Yeah, like
It's gonna be like a bad comedy movie. Yeah.
yeah, we'll go out there and steal it, get them drunk and steal it. And then it comes out and on New Breed Records and they're like, the fuck is this shit?
It's like, what was this? Is this a Drowner cover band? Well, funny you
Spe-
mention that. Yeah.
I hope Loser puts out a new anything next
Oh
year.
yeah. Yep.
We might get a new Graphic Nature. Who the hell knows?
Yeah, that's true. That's
I hope
true. Yeah.
I hope the trend continues with all the new oh, there you go. I hope Bleed puts out something. I know Sean was telling us that Bleed's in the studio, so that's cool. I just hope
Hmm.
the trend continues with that new grunge sound. I love that shit, man. I can't get enough of that stuff. So hopefully that all comes back out and I just need that Deftones record. Just give it to me. That's the most one I'm looking forward to. So
Okay. Okay. All
that's
right,
it.
Tim. Album of the year.
It's me, right?
Yeah, it's you.
I already know your album of the year, so I'm gonna name mine. You already named it, Cane Hill. That record's fucking incredible. The chorus of Finding Euphoria is, dude, that dude's voice. is fucking top notch, man. Listen, the record that they put out in I think it was 2020, um, Too Far Gone. If I would have known that came out that year, that would have been my top record of that year. And this is with Ohms coming out by Deftones. It was
That's a
better
bold
than that
statement.
record.
Yep.
That record is better than Ohms for me. Because 2020, that was my favorite record, obviously. But yeah, that would have been the record of the year. It's my record of the year this year. What's it called? It's
A piece of me I never let you find.
yeah. How it's the record of the year and I don't know that is crazy. I
But
know it. I just forgot.
we don't
But
remember. You don't need to remember titles. You don't need to remember lyrics anymore. You can just remember how you remember. Honestly, Tim, I really think nowadays it comes down to how does the album make you feel.
yeah, and it makes me
And
feel all the feels.
yeah, it's Permanence and Sleep. Uh, oh my God,
Drowning
Fade.
Therapy.
The whole album is great. It
Yeah.
is great.
I'm gonna go over what you said. The pacing is fucking perfect. The track list is perfect. They laid it out perfectly. You can't get better than that. The riffing is so when he switched to 7 string, I was reading it, I was watching an interview with him. He was just like, whenever he played everything in 6, I switched to a 7 and it just opened up so much for me. That 1 string, and he's right, man. I'd rarely play 6 strings anymore. I love 7. It's just so much more fun, and you could tell on the record that he just found his groove on that, man. I mean, if you listen to Too Far Gone, it's completely different than this record. Completely
Yes.
different.
Yes.
If Too Far Gone's like a Pantera-ish, like it's got them riffs in it, but it's their own style. This one, yes, it has the Jenny parts, it has singing parts, but they
It,
just do it better than everybody.
it's an overplayed term to say mature, but this is them at their most mature. Like they truly did something different and unique, and it sounds fantastic.
Dude, them songs are perfection to me. There's nothing, nobody put out anything better than that.
Yeah.
And as I listen to the record more, I just find more things I love about it. Like like Finding Euphoria is track 11. It's literally the last song on the record because for some reason they do fade twice. You notice that?
Yes.
I listen to both them songs back to back. I don't see a difference at all. Do you?
I can't hear a difference now.
I would love to get them on and ask why that was, and that's going to be one of the bands we get on 2025. We're getting them on. I will find a
Yep.
way to do that. But yeah, I mean that the chorus of Finding Euphoria is so fucking good. It almost brings a tear to my eye. It's that good.
Yeah,
And
I mean, you so here's something we could do a whole episode on albums that this year the last track they send it home perfectly. Finding Euphoria, the End of the Boundaries album, the last track in the 156 Silence album, like they found a way to end it on the perfect note.
yeah,
Which I'm the older I get, the more I'm starting to appreciate how you end the album is almost as important as how you start the album.
yeah. And the reason I love that Finding Euphoria track so much is because like I said before, the beginning of my year sucked. And like that song, like, he says when you've given up, find euphoria is kind of like,
Mm-hmm.
dude, just getting that new job completely changed my life. Completely changed my life. Like, dude, I was in the dumps, dude. Seriously.
Yeah. Yeah.
In the fucking dumps. I couldn't do it anymore. But that song transitioned so well for me because it's just like, yeah, dude, found it. Good. Great. Life's completely different. Love it.
Yeah, it's really, really, really good. Really
Dude,
good.
it's crazy. Like, I know we're not talking about this shit, but it's crazy how much of a bad job will fuck you up mentally. It's crazy, dude. So
Oh, yeah.
people listening,
When
man,
you dread going to work, that's a sign you got to get the fuck out, right?
yeah, like
I,
if you're especially if you're young right now and you're listening to this, take it from me. I'm 41, dude. If you're in a job that you want to fucking die going to, get out of it. Get
I
out.
I had a job where I was taking 3 Tylenol PMs every Sunday because the thought of going to work on Monday made me ill.
Yeah, I was in the
And
same boat, dude.
I used up a year's worth of sick, personal, and vacation time by July 4th.
Mm.
And my boss was like, "You realize you can't take any more time off, right?" Yeah,
Yeah, dude,
I hated that job. I hated it.
it's bad. When you get to that point of your life, man, it's time to go, dude. And the crazy part is the job I found, like, it's super rewarding. I have no more stress. It's fucking great, dude. So yeah, super seriously, if you're listening and you're dying where you're at, get out of it as quickly as possible. It'll
Yep.
change your fucking whole
Yeah.
trajectory, man.
Don't let it pull you down. All right. So I'm going to end this out on a high note real quick. My album of the year is Tim.
Throne.
Excessive Guilt.
There you go.
One of my favorite albums of all time is Bury Your Dead, Cover Your Tracks, because it is no frills. It is hardcore. There's breakdowns. The songs are not long. You can nod your head to it. You can stomp your foot to it. And you can hit somebody in the face to it. And this album is Throne is the closest I've heard a band come to that album since. And they sound great live. The tempo changes. The first three songs, then they go into Bloodsucker, and then they do another one, and then there's a song with someone like scratching. I went through the whole thing. I'm like, again. And I literally listened to it a bazillion times this year. I think it is fantastic. And
Yeah.
I am stoked for them because it seems like, I mean, you look at that tour, every day they're announcing venue upgrades and sellouts. So obviously they're getting some noise. And they could be they could be the equivalent of Lorna Shore for hardcore, right? Like they could be running right behind Knock Loose.
Yeah, I mean, it was in my top as well. I mean, it is a fucking transcending record, man.
Yes.
I mean, it's just in your fucking face good. Like it's one of them records you put it on, you're just like, oh, like you make that face the whole time.
Yeah.
It's kind of the graphic nature does that for me too. Like you just go, you squint, like, oh.
It's one of those albums where you get to the end and you're like, oh, it's over? Like,
because it's so enjoyable, it goes that
yes.
quick.
Yes. This band we found through Humanity's Last Breath.
Yep.
And Vildhjorta, and we're gonna get Buster on the show this year. Excuse me. That's Whiskey Skiing. That's another goal. To get Buster on and to get the guys from Cane Hill on. But yeah, this album, I fucking love it, and they sound great live. And yeah, I am 100%. I'm really looking forward to seeing them this year.
Yeah, if there's three records that you need to listen to this year, it's Throne with Excessive Guilt. It's Cane Hill with that long ass title, I'm Not Going Again.
And
it's Profiler.
Nature.
And Grabbing
four. Nature. Okay.
And there's four records them four records go after this episode because we're pretty much done. Go listen to them four records if you haven't heard any of them. Even if you have heard it like maybe once, go back, because I guarantee you if you have a top 10 list, one of them records is making it. If you like the music we like, one of them records is making your top. I guarantee it.
Yep. All right.
If anyone asks me, what should I listen to this year? That's the four records I give them every fucking time.
Yeah, if they were asking me, I would give them that same three with like, I throw in like Gate Creeper.
Yeah.
Or something else. All right. So I want to thank Tim, and I want to thank everybody who's listening on the audio. People still do that. People who are watching on YouTube, we want to thank you as well. I think we're up to like 500 something subscribers. The goal is 1,000. We want to thank you for hanging out with us for another year. Hope you enjoy the shows. Hope you enjoy the topics. We got another fun year coming up for you this year. We might actually get the trial of Limp Bizkit off the ground. I've been working on it a little bit. But we want to seriously thank all of you for watching, listening, buying shit from the merch store. A couple people have bought some shirts and stuff. Hope you like it. Please find us, leave us a comment, reach out and say, hey, I like this. I want more of this, less of this. Tim and I are always open to ideas. If you got an idea for a show, shit, we'll have you on. Please reach out to us. We really, really like that stuff. So
that's what I want to say too. Two things. We don't care if you're a nobody, because we're nobodies. You want to come on the show, you fucking message us. We'll have you on. It doesn't matter who you are, where you're from. Doesn't matter what. I don't care. Believe in whatever you want to believe. It doesn't bother any of us. Come on the show, dude, because we're not looking for the celebrity guest. I could give one fuck.
Nope.
You know what I mean? I've learned a lot that just because you get a big name on it means absolutely nothing.
Nothing. Yep.
That's one tip I'll give you. If you're starting a podcast, don't reach out. Don't just be like, I need to get Fred Durst. It's not going to help you. I'm telling you, dude.
Mm-mm.
You're going to be happy, but it's not going to help you at all.
Build an audience first. Yep.
Do what you want to do. And seriously, like, I think this year was our biggest year for this podcast, honestly. It was like we got the most reactions, the most comments, the most fucking, hey, man, love the show shit. I love that shit. Just hearing that stuff makes me happy, man. So, and I think for 2025, start leaving voicemails. Stop being a pussy and leave.
Yeah, leave stuff that we can play on the show. Disguise your voice. We don't really care. To that end, 267-297-5400. 4627.
Oh,
Leave us feedback, newbreed_podcast on both Twitter and Instagram. Find us at newbreedpodcast@gmail.com if you want to send us an actual email. We are on r/new metal. You'll find us bouncing around. We are in our Facebook group. So, new episodes
send us your
every
top
Wednesday.
tens as well.
I don't know what just happened to Tim. Hopefully it's still recording. He got garbled for a second.
It happened to you on my end too.
Oh, great. Well, let's see how this audio turned out. Every Wednesday, 12 o'clock, new episodes. Every Friday, 12 o'clock, new reaction vids. On behalf of Jay and Tim, thanks for hanging out. We'll see you again soon.
Yeah, man. Send your
Cheers.
top tens in too.
Yeah, send us your top 10. We want to know what other picks you've got. What other trash picks somebody else has.
Yeah, and no, one more thing. Should we do a playlist of all our stuff? Just one song?
If you send it to me, I'll put it together. I'll put it on Spotify.
All right, cool. Look out for that soon. See you.
All right. Cheers.
Later.